So, other things that we learned from Joseph's interpretation of Pharaoh's dreams are vital survival strategies. Vital survival strategies, as we can find in Genesis chapter 41, beginning from verse 33 upward. Genesis 41, verse 33 upward. Now, he told the king to look out for a man with discretion and wisdom to put over the land. To search for a man with discretion and wisdom and put him over the land. The first survival strategy we can pick from this verse, that is verse 33, is a combination of discretion and wisdom. A combination of discretion and wisdom. Now, discretion and wisdom appears to be similar, but they are not the same. They appear to be similar, but they are not the same. You see, while wisdom helps you to know the right thing to do, discretion helps you to know the right way and the right time of doing it without causing harm. So with wisdom, you know exactly what you need to do. But with discretion, you know the timing and the manner of doing the right thing without causing harm, which is very, very key. So sometimes you may know what to do, but you may not know the appropriate time to do those things and the manner of getting it done. That's a question of what? Discretion, not wisdom. So Joseph told him a person of discretion and wisdom is needed for this assignment to be achieved. That's the first survival strategies. The second survival strategy that Joseph proposed to Pharaoh was in verse 34, the next verse. He told him, appoint officers over the land. Appoint officers over the land. Now, it was Pharaoh that had the dream. However, for the dream to be properly interpreted and to bring benefit to the whole kingdom, to the whole land of Egypt, he needed to bring in other people. He needed to get other people engaged so that the dream can bring benefit to all. And once these people are engaged, they needed to be given clear-cut mandate. And the lesson we can learn here is that when duties are properly assigned and people's job description or expectations are clearly communicated, you will observe growth and development. There will be personal growth not only for the people who have been saddled with the respective responsibilities, but even for the organization as a whole. Because those who have been engaged, as they begin to do their work, as they put in their effort, they begin to develop their skills. Their competencies are sharpened. And so they are becoming better at their job. They find a sense of fulfillment that they are contributing to the bigger goal, and the organization itself is growing as well. Yes. So the third survival strategy that Joseph proposed here is in verse 35. He said, and let them gather up all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hands of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the city. For me, the third strategy here is what I titled storage or investment. The first one is what is to bring people a person of wisdom and discretion. The second one is to appoint officers. The third survival strategy is storage and investment. So he told him, these years of abundance, let us store, let us gather grains for the years of what? Of famine. So the famine would come, the time of scarcity will come. But what will determine survival in those times is what has been stored up in the good times. So what are the things that can be stored up? Yes, resources can be stored up. In the case of the Bible that we are reading here, this story, they stored up grains, they stored up foods, they stored up resources that were available then in all of those 7 years. Now, if we are bringing down into our time, into the seasons we live in, there are things you can store up. You can store up your financial resources. Yes, you can store them up. You can invest them. The next thing you can also store up is that what you can actually store up a good name. God told Abraham, I will not only bless you, I will not only make you great, I would also make your name great. You can store up a good name so that what those names can be used by your children, it can serve as a legacy, a positive legacy for them. The next thing that you can actually store up is that you can store up relationship. Relationship both with God, relationship both with man. Because Mephibosheth, whose life was changed, was not only because of his own relationship, it was because of the relationship that his father had with David. And that's why in the book of Second Samuel chapter 9 verse 1, 2 Samuel 9 verse 1, David asked, is there anybody in the house of Saul left that I may show kindness unto for the sake of Jonathan? For the sake of Jonathan. So it was relationship that Jonathan had built over years, that he had stored, that he had invested in, that his son Mephibosheth benefited from. So you can store up relationship, you can invest in relationship. Another thing you can actually invest in, that you can store in, apart from good name, apart from relationship, is actually good deeds, good works. Yes, you can store them up because they will be things you can draw up later, you can draw from later, that your children can draw from later. The book of Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 says, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season, at a time in life, we shall reap if we don't faint. Tabitha in the Bible that died and rose, part of the things that led to her rising was because of the good work she had done. Because when Peter came, the widows were showing Peter the clothes that she had sold for them free of charge, that she had given them. So you can sow your name, you can sow relationship, you can sow good works. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So the reality is that you can't pray away the summer because you love the winter. No, the summer will come, the winter will come. All you can do is to actually prepare for it. And one of the ways you can actually prepare for it is by storing things up. You store up resources, you store up materials, you store up money, you store up good names, you store up relationship, you store up goodwill. Yes, yes, that's how to prepare for it.